Now it says live.
Welcome to the Monday Morning Wake Up Call with your host, Kerry Ramage, managing broker at Remax Elite, and Heather Holiday, your social marketing nut, talking about hottest real estate topics with a little weekly activity and motivation for the week.
Hello.
Good morning. Happy Monday.
It's a Monday.
For sure. For sure.
I wonder if any of these stickers. So do you see the background for us?
What do you mean?
On there? Or is it a black screen?
No, it's there.
So I just can't see it. It just looks black to me.
No. It's there. You can see
Okay.
it. And just so you know.
Okay, I see it. Okay, I see that.
So bear with us, everybody, for a second. We're just seeming to be having a problem with StreamYard. So in the Monday Morning Wake Up Call group, it's playing from YouTube, but in the other two groups, it's playing from StreamYard.
It should be playing from StreamYard. It looked like the StreamYard worked, even though it kind of created the event.
Right.
But so it would be both places.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
in the event, I got the notifications we went live. So I guess
so we should be fine.
So Facebook made changes, and when we set up the StreamYard, it created events everywhere.
Right. Gotcha.
But when I go to the event, it was like set it all up, and I'm like, what do you mean?
Right. So as long as it's playing, it's all good.
I wasn't sure if it was going to work, so I posted the YouTube link because that was the only thing that looked normal, because I wasn't sure what was going to happen. But I guess everything kind of happened the way it was supposed to. It's just weird how it kind of created that event. And that's new. And even in the StreamYard community, everybody was kind of asking the same questions, but there was it'll be fine.
All right. So we're just gonna assume it's fine at this point.
Well, it seemed like I got all the notifications live. It's just weird how it kind of created the event. But it is what it is. All good.
So we're talking about get your groove back and finish the year off strong. And, it's been an interesting few years, and it's funny, not just through COVID. So I was on Facebook the other day and somebody posted a listing, new listing. And I looked at it, I was like, oh, I sold that house to this agent and his buyer. I had the listing when they bought it back in 2018. And in 2018, this house that we sold, we had multiple offers, highest and best on this house. That was in 2018. So, I mean, if I really think about stuff, so kind of after 2011 and things kind of settled down, and then, it started ticking up. 2016, 2017 was good. 2018 was even better. We were getting multiple offers, highest and best. Clearly not like we were getting in 2021 and 2022 or 2020 even, but this started before COVID.
Oh, for sure, because when I moved to Tennessee, every single house had multiple offers. So, I mean, that was
not just
people weren't even putting pictures. They were just using the Google Streets for their photo, which is very annoying when you're trying to buy from out of state.
Right, for sure, which is just a quick reminder, a little bit off topic. Just because the house is going to sell quickly, those professional photos are a presentation of your work. Okay. So it's not just about how great the house is, but it's about how great Kerry Ramage as a listing agent look at the product she puts out there, because that hopefully you're using to get more listings. So don't ever take the easy route, honestly.
Because I can guarantee you, I would never refer anybody I know because we've had a lot of friends move up this way. I would absolutely never refer any of those agents anybody that I know, only because it's, even to list or anything.
Right, because if they're not putting the work in, I mean, to get the house sold and showing it in the best
Well, could
light,
you imagine if it actually had
right?
even photos of the property?
What the offers would have been like then? Yeah,
Yeah, for
for
sure.
sure.
I just feel it's a complete disservice. And of course, one of my biggest pet peeves is they maybe put that there because they're getting professional photos, but that announcement goes out to the world
Yeah.
with that one placement photo,
Yep.
and I'm not going to save it. So
Yep.
the only way I would ever see that again is if you are having it on the market long enough to do a price reduction. And then I
Right.
may see it with the photos, but I'm not going to save it if pictures coming soon. Why
Right.
would you just shouted that out to the world?
Right.
It's kind of like
Exactly.
going to an interview to this job you want so bad in your pajamas.
Yep. For
That's
sure.
how I kind of feel.
For sure.
It's like a
So
huge pet peeve of mine. Stop it.
so we've all been so busy. We've all kind of maybe sacrificed ourselves for the business and not paid attention to kind of building your business as well, because you've just been chasing everything because it's been such a frenzy. So hopefully we can share with you some ways to get your groove back. So the first, and we say this all the time, pull out your business plans and really, really take a look at what you had on your business plan. Because now we're almost to the fourth quarter. So this is like the last hurrah. Pull out your business plan, take a look at it, look at what's been working for you. Do more of that. Look what hasn't worked. If it hasn't worked, why hasn't it worked? Has it not worked because you weren't really putting the time into it, or has it not worked because you're not good at whatever it is? I mean, I'll just be honest. I'm not great at converting people at open houses. I don't like it. I don't love it. So if open houses aren't working for me, then maybe I shouldn't do them, or I need to figure out how to do them better. Right? What have you neglected? I don't know. What have you neglected?
I think there's a lot because we've been so busy that, some of the newer agents probably never had to put anything in place. They're just,
They
one
just
step
jumped
forward,
in.
just trying to get through each day, right?
Right.
And it's not like you're going back to the basics. We're just going back to, building our business the way, we may have had to 15 years ago.
Right.
And a lot of, I think we've neglected a lot on building the business because we haven't needed to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
for sure. So if you're newer and you didn't do any of the work to build your business, now's the time. Take a look at what you need to do to make sure your business remains as robust as it has been over the past year and a half or 2 years. Yeah, for sure. What are there new resources that you need, or is there something new out there that you can be using or should be using or should be trying? You know, um, do you need new people on your team? Do you have so many leads that you need a buyer's agent? Do you have so much work that you need a transaction coordinator? Do you have so much going on that you need an assistant? I remember years ago, I think this is going back to 2011 when we did the Tom Ferry, and I won that year, that sales power,
sales
right?
power.
That's what it's called. And I remember I tweeted, how do you know when it's time to hire an assistant? And Tom's tweet back was, if you have to ask, then it's time.
Yep. It's
So,
always before you need it.
yeah,
And quite honestly, I get that because you get so overwhelmed, then you do get an assistant past time, and now you don't even have time to train them, and then they're probably not going to do exactly what you want, but that's not really their fault. It's because you're so crazy.
because you're so crazy. So sometimes you have to take the time to invest back into your business so that when you but by invest back in your business, I don't necessarily mean monetarily, I mean time wise. You have to take the time to invest in your business so that you're not just running around crazy in a frenzy. Put the
Right.
systems in place. And I'm always, I have to keep reminding myself, because I am the worst at my CRM. Kind of everything is in my brain, and that's not the best way to do it.
I
So,
think
and
that was like my first coaching session was If you were to get into an accident, how does your assistant know what to do?
Yeah.
Who's going
Yeah.
to be able to do exactly what you do? So put a system in place. Every single thing that you do, what's that going to look like? And
Right.
everything was up here.
Right.
So I have every single thing that I do. And you know what? Because I had that in place, it made it so much easier when I did bring on a team member. I was just able to, go ahead and assign those tasks to them. And everything's already organized with, I've got videos, tutorials on every single thing I do. That's on each task.
Right.
So that made it, yes, that was time consuming, but it was investing that time into my business so that made bringing someone on so much easier. They don't even have to Google it. They just watch my video. Here's how you do it.
Right. 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 So, and what new routines do you need? That which gets scheduled gets done. So make sure you're looking at your routines and your daily schedule, and what time are you doing oh my god, lead generation, or what times do you have set aside for meeting with customers? What times do you have set aside for going to the gym? What times do you have set aside for spending time with family? Make sure you get your routine down. And if your routine needs tweaking, then tweak your routine.
Yeah, for me, it's what gets on the calendar is what gets done. So I'm all about time blocking.
Right. Right. So what is, and so here's the biggie. What is your why? What, as we're at the point where we may actually need to start marketing ourselves again, because things aren't just falling into our laps because the market is so frenzied. Now we might need to start marketing again. And it's funny, I was watching a Jared James thing, and it was talking about, the changing market. And you can talk about the changing market all you want, but are you changing with the market? So what is your why? Why are you doing this? And make sure that you're focusing on those things. So whatever your niche is your niche first time home buyers, is your niche military relocation, is your niche empty nesters, is your niche vacation and second homes, and make sure you're focusing on whatever that is so that you can market towards that niche.
I think that's because that's like if you're in real estate, there's usually a reason why you decided to go into real estate. And if it is that first time home buyer, it's like you have that passion when you have that they're closing, right? It's like the best day of their life. And I feel when you get that why are you in there? Are you there to, provide a better life for your family or
Right.
more flexible schedule? Like that's really a thing. But I think if we remember why we got into real estate, it really helps when you have that passion. I think it just flows, when you're working with people. And it just makes it more fun and
Right.
enjoyable anyway.
Right. Right, for sure, for sure. So why do you love it? Like, what do you love about it? Do you love that we have a flexible schedule? Do you love that you can build in time to spend with your family? And if those are the reasons you love this business, then make sure you're building that time in. I always say it's not always being about the person who's selling the most. That may not be who you want to be. You might just want to be creating a great life for you and for your family, or just for you and your pets or whoever is in your life. And it's not always about I want to sell the most. I want to sell the most. If it's about because I love the flexible schedule and I want to be able to build that time in to spend with my family, then make sure you're doing it.
Hmm.
For sure.
I mean, everybody has different goals and just make sure, and to me, the goal balance was really a high priority in my life.
Right. Right. For sure. For me too. For me too. I always say I don't have to be the person who sells the most. I just care about what my bank account, my tax return looks like at the end of the year. And so a lot of times you get caught up in this thing of spending more money to make more money, but are you spending as much as you're making, and is it worth it?
Right.
There is a time when it is worth it for sure, but you just need to make sure that your expenses don't outweigh the increased income.
Yeah. And I just saw this reel, and it really resonated with me. And it was this, I think he was maybe 5 or 6, right? This little kid, and he's up on stage, at a performance or something for school, and you can see he's just kind of sad and he's just looking around the room. And that glow on this kid's face when he saw his mom, or who we didn't see who it was,
Come
and,
in.
and come in, like sitting there, like finally found them in, I just remember we were always in the cafeteria, right? And just saw them and then just had this beam of a smile and then turned around and like, yes, for me, that was that moment because my mom being a single mom didn't always get to go, maybe
Right.
a couple times. So I always wanted to make sure to be there whenever the kids were, even, I could only make sure that they had the Here on Time award for perfect attendance. Not sure that they're going to get much else, but at least
Right.
I could give them that, right? But it was so important to me because my mom could never really do that. I
Mm,
wanted to make sure that I could be there for them, and seeing
right.
that video just really resonated on why, because I was that sad one, like, do you think that they would, do you think she would,
Uh,
and I knew not, so it's like, why bother? But I made sure, like, we were there, like, we had, like, a whole row of family that was able to be there with grandparents and us, and I think I'm just, was probably overcompensating because I didn't get that.
right.
And,
Right. Yeah, for
maybe my
sure.
kids were like, "God, do you have to come to everything?" And it's like, "Absolutely, yes, I do." So, and
That's
that's where
funny.
that balance is just making sure I was present.
Right.
Oh, and I got
Right.
that front back.
So, and as I mentioned, are you prepared for the shifting market? I mean, we know it's shifting, and I can stats you all day long. I can facts and figure you all day long. But if I'm not ready for what's happening or able to change with the shift. I mean, for example, 4 or 5 months ago we had zero point 0.9 months of inventory. Last I checked, we had 1.9 months of inventory. A normal market is 5 to 6 months of inventory. So inventory is still super low, but we're also finding that buyers are not caught up in the frenzy anymore. They're not jumping to put in multiple offers, or they're maybe not even jumping to put in offers. And why is that? And what can we do to encourage them? Certainly the shift in the interest rate has affected that. But even if the interest rate is 6%, that is not a bad interest rate. That's been the interest rate most of my adult life. When I was a kid in 1980, it was like 17%. So, people always buy houses. They just do, but we have to get in the mindset to understand kind of what's going on, and are you there to assist your buyers and sellers with the changing market and to be able to guide them through it? Or are you just sitting here going, oh no, the sky is falling because the interest rate's 6%? Well, the
That's
sky's
kind of
not.
normal. It's
Yeah,
like anybody who's been in real estate for a long time knows that what we've been at has been like crazy.
has been crazy. I was
Like
calling
free
it
money.
free money for a long time. That was free money, man.
Like all
You
of our
might as
car
well.
loans are at like 1%. It's
Yeah.
like, how can a bank? I don't know. Like it just blows my mind.
I know. I don't know either. It's totally crazy. So, but are you prepared for the shift in the market? Do you need to get back to the basics and doing the things that you do, that you were doing regularly, whether it is open houses or door knocking or circle prospecting or working the expireds? Are you doing those things that are in your business plan that you said you would do that maybe you got away from because you were so swamped? Sorry, my nose is dripping. Sorry about
My
that.
eyes are dripping. Oh, it's a Monday. And yesterday I
Yeah.
was just sitting at the airport all day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, just on a little side note, we had our annual Brevard Children in Need Gala where we raise money for Brevard Children in Need. Um, I can't wait to hear how much we raised. It was our 11th year doing it, and Mike Artelli did an amazing job, and his team, and I know Candace Mulvaney was very involved because she is the current president of the Brevard Children in Need Foundation. So she was very involved in this event, and it was one of the best ones I remember being at, to be honest with
I
you.
know. It's like I don't even have a picture. I think there is one photo that I don't remember even being taken of it. I'm like, I never even sat them at the table. It was just
a lot of socializing. And after the weekend, looking at all the people that were there, I'm like, I didn't even see half of those people because there were so
yeah,
many
no,
people
I
there.
was the same. I was like, where was she at? Like I
Yeah,
didn't even see them. I mean, I
right.
tried to at least, get all my visits in and it was just so, for me, not being able to see everybody all the time, it was super nice to be able to
To
see so many faces and trying to
yeah,
fit everything in a couple days and I
I know.
did. It's just I
No,
won't
it was really good. I mean, the whole committee did an amazing job, and the staff at Space Coast Association of Realtors did an amazing job. And Louise McLean, who this was kind of her brainchild, she has since moved away and has been traveling the world. And she flew in to surprise everybody. So that
and
was
she
awesome.
did. I mean, she must have been having fun with all the Facebook posts
I
because
know. I said to her, I called her a curse word when I saw her. Like,
yeah,
you're
me
a
too.
bleep
Me
bleep.
too.
I was like, you were posting that you were getting a mani pedi in Wyoming this morning, and it's remember because I remember reading it and thinking, oh, she's not coming. Damn it, I thought she was
And I've
coming.
sent her a couple messages like, "What do you mean?" And then she put a sad face on my post that when I was flying down, and she's
Yeah,
just and I'm like,
right.
"Oh, that is not nice."
So and our next thing is, do you have balance in your life? So here's a perfect example of having balance. This is a huge charity event. So many people are involved, and is that something that you're passionate about? So you're creating the balance by maybe what you're doing, that you love. Hey, Shelly Trout, thanks for watching. But are you creating balance in your life so that you can do your job that you love well and be there for your family or for yourself, even if it means creating balance means that you are able to participate in charitable events or go to the gym or participate in a 5K run. I know Shelly did a 5K this Saturday morning. Are you creating that balance in your life so that
Yeah, I
you can
think it's
enjoy your
important
life? It's
to
not
take
just
time
about
for you, for your family. Um, I've always, I mean, well, our office is always really big on the giving back.
yep.
I mean, I've always been involved with charity in some way or another. It's like even when I'm like, okay, I'm done, I can't do this anymore. Well, I'll just go into something else. Like
Yeah.
it's just one thing after another. And I think it just depends on what's going on in my life to what's needed or where I feel fulfilled. And I've always, it's like I may not be able to give back, all this money, but I certainly have talents and need,
But you can give back your time with your talents for sure.
yeah. Yeah. So I've always been involved with something. Like I
Well,
just can't
yeah,
not, I guess, even if I say, oh, I'm going to take a break
yeah,
and then something else pops up and it's like, yes,
right,
so I think it's just who I am. But you know what? There's just something that when you know that you're making a difference in the community that you live in, there's just something I can't even explain
right,
about
right.
that.
So just to bring that back to the Brevard Children in Need, I mean, how this started was there was a piece on 60 Minutes, and they featured some homeless children in our area, which is what sparked Elise. You know, so you don't think it's happening around you, but
No,
it
and
is.
then and it hit home when, Jesse wanted to do a sleepover at a friend's house, but I was like, "Well, no, because I haven't met the parents or whatever." And I was like, "Give me the address or something." And it was a hotel. And I was like, no, you're she's coming to our house for the weekend,
Right, right,
But it's, and a lot of people living with their grandparents and stuff.
yeah.
And I think at that time there was 1,600 in Brevard County, and now they said 2,900. And I believe that with how, the numbers started to go down, and now with, there's
But
just not
now they're
really.
back up. I mean, I hate to say, because of the rising cost of housing and
Yeah.
rentals and
No,
stuff.
I mean, that's why I thought it was gonna be an empty nester like 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, and they're saying more and more, uh, for lack of a better word, children are staying home longer. They're not children, they're adults. And is it because of the rising costs? And
Well, yeah,
probably, and
because it just, I mean, it's like 1,700 for a one-bedroom apartment. Like that just seems mind blowing to me. But
no. I
so
know, I feel like, I think my first apartment when I was living here and it was at Beach Club Apartments, I think it was 550 a month, and I split that with another person.
yep,
That was back in 1989. So
just a
that
couple of years ago.
was 33 years ago. Oh
Oh
my
gosh,
God.
that makes you feel old, right?
I
But
know, I know.
yeah,
But
so
then here's another thing. Find it if you don't have a team, find an agent in your office who's willing to cover for you. I did this one boot camp with Lee Brown, and she said, take a Sunday and hand your phone to someone else and let them take care of everything. Now that's hard for me because, kids and until recently my mother and um, but it's always made me think, I really should have two phones. I really should have two phones. One that's the personal family emergency stuff, and then one that's work. And that way I could just hand my phone to someone else if I needed to. That's
yeah, or
scary to
if you
me, but
had
I thought it was a good.
like a Google Voice number, you
Oh
would
yeah, there you go.
easily be able to say, send it to this phone
Right.
number,
Oh,
and it still shows up as your Google Voice,
as your
and
Google
then
Voice.
that person would know that they're calling, for real estate needs. But I think having that partner, it's going to allow you to take that breather, not worry about, this device and
Right.
all the calls, so that you're able to really, because I know when we go to lunches and stuff, it's like every single person at the table is working on their phone,
I know.
texting and calling, and it's drives me bonkers.
I know. Me too. Me too.
But it is what it is, right? I mean, you
Right.
guys can't get away from your phone. You step away for an hour and now you have to return, it's going to take twice as long just to return all these emails and calls and texts and stuff. But if you have a partner and you reciprocate, so you each help each other, take that
Mhm.
long weekend, a
Yep.
staycation, just
Yep.
something where you can be in the moment. And that's where I noticed, like, I had a lot of, I was always, the pictures and stuff, but I don't remember everything. I mean, thank goodness I had the pictures. So now I'm like, I kind of keep my phone not there. So it's not like I'm doing all these photos and I'm just trying to be present in the
Right.
moment.
Right,
So I don't
right.
have
I
a
did
ton of,
I did a little bit of that this weekend. I kind of put my phone away, didn't respond to some, texts and stuff, and so this morning was playing catch up like a crazy person. But and here's the other thing, because as we're talking about kind of getting your groove back, sign up for our business planning. This year it's called Reignite. So it's geared towards getting you back in your groove so we can
yes.
reignite ourselves and our business. Um,
No, it'll be good. It'll be
yeah,
good. And that's like starts in 2 weeks, I think.
I think so too. Wow,
Yes.
'cause it's the month of October, so yeah, so do that. Our business planning book is completely online and fillable this year, so that's awesome. Uh,
Yes. That only
and
took forever and it's like I've done it before, but
I don't even know if we've said this, but we'll have some giveaways for people who do their homework, and just like we will. We will.
good, good. So what's our weekly activity?
Don't focus on the transactions, but focus on the people. And call at least 25 people this week from your sphere or farm just to check in.
Yes.
Mhm.
That's a lot.
I
25
know. 25
people.
is a lot. 25
But we
is,
have 5 days. That's 5 people a day.
yeah, right? Well, I don't think that's bad. I think that's pretty easy.
Yeah. And then the words
For
of
sure.
wisdom is, instead of worrying about what you cannot control, shift your energy to what you can create, by
There
Roy
you go.
Bennett.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes. So we've got some other good shows. Sign up, MondayMorningWakeUpCall.com. Sign up for Reignite 2023. And then
Yeah, if you haven't signed up for it, sign up for it so you can get the online workbook so that you can participate in doing your homework and get the homework assignments.
yeah, and you sent the replays and all that fun stuff. So make sure to register for that. And then we will see everyone next week. And until then, wake up, kick ass, and repeat. Bye, everyone.